I have a question for you guys. If Chris Eubank Jr. and Billy Joe Saunders were to fight again in a rematch, who do you guys think would win and why? Please let me know in the comment section below of this video. I would really appreciate it. Now, if you guys know, you guys probably know, obviously, both of these guys fought, I would say, around 3 years ago. Now, I remember when it first happened. Was it 2014 or 2015? It was definitely before Billy Joe Saunders became a champion. Billy Joe Saunders became a champion in 2015, late 2015, when he beat Andy Lee, right? So I would imagine this, then I guess it happened either early 2015 or late 2014. But they fought each other about 2-3 years ago. At the time, they were both undefeated, and Billy Joe Saunders gave Chris Eubank Jr. his first loss. And this fight took place at middleweight. Now, obviously, a lot has changed since then. Well, what I must let you guys know is I'm a big fan of Chris Eubank Jr., but I'm also a fan of Billy Joe Saunders. If you look at that fight, Billy Joe Saunders outboxed Chris Eubank Jr. Now, I've always said this. Chris Eubank Jr. is a master inside fighter, right? He's one of those guys that he loves it. He loves it when his opponents... He loves it when his opponents bring the fight to him. He loves it when his opponents go on the inside against him, because he's a master at inside fighting, right? So when you're on the inside against him, he can let his uppercuts go. He's really good at uppercuts, throwing uppercuts. He can let his body shots go. He's really good at fighting on the inside. But when he's in there with a guy who's a slickster, who doesn't engage him like that, who keeps it long, keeps it rangy, and forces him to go after them, that's when he has problems. That's when he has problems, because he, like I said, he's more comfortable, because he's out of his comfort zone like that, because he's more comfortable when a guy goes after him, so he could let his punches go off. Kind of like Canelo Alvarez. Although they fight completely different, like, that's one thing they both have in common. Canelo Alvarez is also a guy that he prefers his opponents coming towards him, so he could let his punches off and really inflict his damage on his opponents. Same kind of thing for Billy Joe Saunders. But like when someone's on the back foot and forcing Canelo Alvarez to go after him, you don't see him. He's not at his best like that. Same scenario goes for Chris Eubank Jr. when he's on the back. When someone's on the back foot against him, he tends to struggle. So that being said, the question is, has Chris Eubank Jr. improved enough since then for this fight to have a different outcome? Has he improved enough? Because if he were to fight Billy Joe Saunders again, and if Billy Joe Saunders fought the way he fought David Lemieux the other night, I think you would see Chris Eubank Jr. struggle again. Unless, because I still think that when it comes to outboxing guys, like when it comes to inside fighting, I think Chris Eubank Jr. is better than Billy Joe Saunders. But when it comes to boxing a guy, outboxing a fighter, I think Billy Joe Saunders is better than Chris Eubank Jr. on that department. So if they, and I still think he's better than him in that department. So if he fights him, and if Billy Joe Saunders fights that fight again where he's fighting off the back foot, then he's going to force Chris Eubank Jr. And if Chris Eubank Jr. hasn't improved, he'll be able to outbox him. But Chris Eubank Jr. has to, in my opinion, know how to cut the ring off better. If he's improved enough on cutting the ring off better, then he should be able to make it more competitive. But if they were to fight now, I would probably be leaning towards Billy Joe Saunders to win again. 100%. But yeah, I still think it's an interesting fight. And I would think that, because Chris Eubank Jr. is a very cocky type of character, so I would think he will want to avenge his loss sometime to Billy Joe Saunders. It's going to be interesting when I see Chris Eubank Jr. in there with George Groves, because George Groves is going to be probably being on the back foot. Although, like I said, I don't think George Groves is as, disciplined as Billy Joe Saunders when it comes to like staying, like fighting smart. Because George Groves is more like machismo, and he's more guy who's willing to engage. That's why I'm picking Chris Eubank Jr. to beat him and upset him and become the new champion at middleweight. But excuse me, at super middleweight. But I think Billy Joe Saunders is more disciplined in that department. Although he's still he's confident, but he's basically sticks to his game plan. But yeah, it's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think, please, in the comment section. I'm out.